Well, getting ready to go to Aquascaping pretty soon and seeing all those high-end aquascapes. So yeah, I decided it was time to share 5 things from the hair care aisle that you need for your aquascapes. When I came up with that title, my 14-year-old and I laughed for a long time. But it's true. There are 5 things that I would recommend that you go out and get from the hair care aisle that will help you in your aquascaping. Oh, and if you've seen these hair care items from me before, stay tuned, because the last one, or maybe I'll put it in the middle, is one that I have not shared yet, but I was really excited about, that encouraged me to do 5 things from the hair care aisle. So what are they? Well, first of all, the spiral hair tie. Okay, it's great. These are around my house everywhere in various forms. In an original form, still useful as a hair tie, cut up, and then little pieces like this. And that's what I do. I cut them in little sections. Why? How can you use this? Where's my little demonstration guy here? Say you have a little branch and you want to attach some anubias, but you don't want to glue it. I've been there. You don't want to glue it. You don't want to hurt your little tiny anubias nana petite, or maybe some prized buse. What you can do is you just wrap a little section of a hair tie right around there, and then you can just tuck the stem in right there. You don't even have to glue it. It won't go anywhere. And yeah, it was super simple, really, really fast, and you can move it anytime you want. Number 2 would be very, very similar to that, and I don't have any right now, but I have a very close representative of the little tiny, I think they're called hair elastics. They're just either clear or they're black, and they're just kind of like a little piece of rubber. Can you see this one? It's super tiny. See? Super, super tiny. There we go. It's just a little tiny rubber band. I'm actually using an orthodontic rubber band instead, but it's about the same. Well, it's not about the same size. It's probably half the size. But if you ever use those little hair elastics, really great to just put on the end of a branch. And for the same thing, if you want to attach Nubius, or even say a little blob of Subwassertang or Java moss, these can be invaluable, and it takes no time whatsoever, and you would just be able to tuck the little plant in right there, and you can move it very easily, and there's no glue involved for those of you who glue your fingers all the time. Raise your hand. Okay, number 3, you've seen this before, the comb. And there's 2 different uses for a comb. First of all, you can use really any kind of comb that you have. If you're like me, I have like 100 combs everywhere. I don't know why. You just get a lot of combs. And you can use them to scoop out your duckweed. Really handy. I highly recommend it. It's really relaxing. But there's also a separate use that I love even more. And that would be, you get yourself a cheaper comb than this, even smaller, and I cut them up. I cut them into little sections, little tiny sections. And these can help you plant little stinkers of plants like microsword that always wants to get uprooted, especially if you have little cory cats at the bottom of your tank, or mystery snails that like to uproot your plants. Well, you just use this as it's like a little plant pick, little plant, like a little tiny landscape staple. Works like a charm. Really great, especially if you have black substrate. These little black ones can, you'll never see them. Really easy, and those really thin, cheap combs, really easy to cut too. So you can make like 1,000,000 of them like I do. Have them everywhere. Now, if you have a larger plant, don't worry, I got you. Use these guys. I like to get them in clear and black. Either of them can work out really great. And then you can do the same thing, especially if you have maybe a more mature microsword when they get really tall and they're going to be starting to pull up a little bit more, or even if you want to help keep down, what's some of the other plants that kind of become a little bit of a stinker. Sometimes I have an issue with like crypt parva, and these can even help out if you have aqua soil that's very, very light and wants to pull it up. These will even kind of help to keep them under than just the plant by itself. Give it a shot. All right, so this is my latest, maybe greatest. I saw this and I said, you know what? That's going into my Aquascaping cleaning supply kit. It's coming out of the bathroom, never used, but I said, oh, a lot of these you can get on Amazon. You can get them everywhere. You can get them at Dollar Tree. You can get them at the grocery store. You can get them at Walgreens, wherever you go, drugstore, whatever. A root touch-up brush. I know if you get algae, especially green hair algae, likes to attach itself to all of your hardscaping. It's a real pain. Everybody loves the toothbrush, right? You got to have a toothbrush in your repertoire. Obviously brand new, it has to be brand new. But the problem with a toothbrush is, especially for a smaller tank, and say you have a small little, say you have a 1 gallon aquarium, it's basically like a little cube, and you have a toothbrush, and you're gonna try to like get your hand in there to get the brush, it's not gonna work. You need one of these because the brush is at the bottom and you can hold this completely vertically into the tank, and the brush is really, it's not too soft, but it's not too hard, and it'll get into those little nooks and crannies really great. I swear, you're gonna love it. And Amazon has them in like, you can get them, you know, pack of 3. They even have like sparkly ones, and you can get like plain ones, matching ones, a whole bunch, one, whatever. So there you go. There are 5 products from the hair care aisle that you need for your aquarium. Who knew? Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.